What's up, my little Wooty Woo? All right, so we finna talk about Subway again, but let's get into some more details about it because I've been looking online. I came across this video, and y'all know if y'all know the Subway used to be popping, like when they had them $5 footlongs, and it hit a point where it went like this to now it's just like okay, because don't nobody be in there like that, but people still be eating there besides the quality of the food. But I want to show y'all this video that I came across boy, I done found out some information, especially about Mr. Jared. Oh my gosh, I know a lot of y'all know about that video, but that was crazy to me, and that's a huge reason why they failing. Let's get into this right here.
In America had ordered a $5 footlong at least once from that classic all-American sandwich shop chain, Subway. But in the last few years, Subway is facing a crisis. It's losing money, closing stores, and customers are turning away in the thousands. What happened? Today on the Infographic Show, we're going to take a look at the real reasons why Subway is failing. You're walking back from work and suddenly you feel your stomach rumble. You look around thinking you want to get something fast on the go, but not too unhealthy. You're trying to get lean and fit for bathing suit season, like you tried to last year and the year before that. Across the street, you spot a Subway. Perfect, you think. If you were around in the 2000s or early 2010s, you definitely remember Jared. He wasn't a celebrity, he wasn't a fitness guru, he was just an average guy. But that was exactly the point. Subway made Jared a star because his story was kind of incredible. In college, Jared battled obesity and weighed about 425 pounds. Then he switched his diet to 2 Subway sandwiches a day and proceeded to lose 245 pounds. When the franchise heard Jared's story, the opportunity was too perfect to pass up.
Yeah, so Jared was the face of the company for a long time. Jared did not lose weight by eating certain stuff like, meatball subs on the menu. He more ate like vegetable sandwiches, stuff that's filled with vegetables. It wasn't just like, because they do have some unhealthy options over there. They have pizza on there, for crying out loud. Pizza is not necessarily healthy. But he did lose a lot of weight.
2015, something unexpected happened.
Let's go back a little bit.
August 19th, 2015, something unexpected happened. Jared was charged with distributing and receiving child pornography and engaging in commercial sex.
Did not know that. Did not know that. You gotta be careful who you be around, man. What's
Next with minors. We'll spare you the details. Let's just say Jared Fogle immediately pled guilty to all charges. The whole ordeal created a PR nightmare for Subway. You might be thinking, it's one spokesperson. Why does that matter? Well, here's the thing. Jared wasn't just a spokesperson, he was Subway. The company's entire image had become tied to him, and the story drove a huge chunk of their profits. After Jared's first commercial aired in 2000, Subway sales increased by 20%. In 2005, when Jared's contract expired and he stopped filming commercials for the franchise, same-store sales dropped by 10%. Subway saw the writing on the wall and they quickly rehired him. But after his conviction, all of that was gone now. The family-friendly, healthy, wholesome image of Subway and their spokesperson had been completely destroyed in one of the grossest ways possible. Back to the Subway shop, where you're lost in the memories of the Jared scandal and how disgusting that was all around. You're so distracted you don't even hear the
my bad, that ain't Jared. It's not Jared. This is not Jared.
woman behind the counter asking you what you want. Snapping out of it, you look down to quickly scan the ingredients and pause. What is this? These can't be the healthy Subway options. They look like day-old hospital food. You watch as the employee grabs a limp.
I wonder if Honeybook has any new clients for me today.
Yeah, and that goes
where my
back
best
to
leads come from.
the quality of their food.
I wonder if I'll get paid.
They used to be like fresh. They wanted things to be fresh, but now it's more like processed stuff. And then if you look at my other video where I was talking about what they make in their food, a lot of the chicken is only 50% chicken. A lot of additives makes up the other 50%. The steak just looked nasty overall. The bread, they put a substance in the bread that was used in yoga mats. It's a long name, start with an A. They ended up taking it out though eventually, but they ended up serving a lot of this stuff. So yeah, not doing too great. But of course, then you got competitors that start popping out like Jimmy John's. People love some Jimmy John's. Firehouse Subs. People complaining about the size of Subway subs, not 12 feet.
Absolutely gross. When Subway expanded to Ireland, they tried to get out of paying the country's VAT, value-added tax, by filing an appeal in its court system. According to Irish food laws, staple foods like bread, coffee, milk, meat, and eggs are not subject to VAT. So Subway argued that its bread could not be taxed. Well, that turned out to be a big mistake, because here is the thing: what Americans classify as food and what the rest of the world considers edible, yeah, those two don't always line up. In 2020, the Supreme Court of Ireland took one look at the soft, doughy loaf in front of them, and they ruled that Subway had to pay the VAT because its bread did not actually qualify as bread. That's right, Ireland found that the sugar content of Subway's alleged bread was so high that the franchise couldn't really call it that anymore. Irish law says that the sugar content of bread should clock in at 2% of the flour's weight. The sugar content of Subway bread came in at 10% of the weight. And it's not.
Yeah, so that's a lot. I believe their bread is still like this to this day. So a lot of sugar bread, a lot of sugar in the bread. I'm not saying it tastes like that, but a lot of sugar in their bread. And then if you heard about their tuna, saying their tuna is not tuna, what else is the tuna?
That it is not actually tuna. So what
Yeah, they got a lawsuit saying that their tuna was not actually tuna.
is it? Well, if DNA tests are to be believed, it's some mixture of chicken, pork, cattle, and other things no one really understands. And it's not just a few samples either. A lawsuit filed in 2021 attached lab reports from UCLA's Barber Lab, part of the Department of Ecology and Evolutionary Biology. Researchers collected 50 grams of tuna from 20 different Subway stores across Southern California and ran tests. According to the lawsuit, 19 of the samples had no detectable tuna DNA sequences whatsoever, which is absolutely crazy because anyone with a cat has more detectable tuna DNA than that on their hands right now. Now, we should note that Subway has denied these claims and the lawsuit was dismissed in 2020.
Yeah, it was dismissed. Overall, they still saying it's made out of real tuna. Even their website, if you see their website, it's going to say made out of real tuna. I don't know if it is. I don't eat the tuna from there though. I just don't eat it, but let's see what else they got going on.
Teens weren't getting much better food at Subway than McDonald's. The average Subway meal came out to 955 calories, while the average McDonald's meal contained just over 1,000 calories. Not a huge difference. Dr. Leonard Lesser, the head of the study at UCLA's Fielding School of Public Health, said the nutrient profile of Subway was slightly healthier, but still contained 3 times the salt recommended by the Institute of Medicine. It turns out Jared lost the weight because he ate very strict portions with the healthiest possible ingredients and almost none of the toppings or the sauces most customers would get at Subway. So you stand in line.
Because, yeah, I'm finna get me chicken, bacon, ranch. I'm gonna give me a little cucumber, a little lettuce. I'm gonna get all the good stuff. He got the vegetables. No sauce. He ate no sauce. He probably ate a little sauce. Maybe a healthy alternative to sauce. I can't believe he didn't eat no sauce because, I don't know. What else they got going on? Report a 150% annual employee turnover rate. Far higher than the fast food average. So they had a lot of employees quitting. Their business it's just overall clunking, like it's failing. I don't even know if clunking is a word. Oh yeah, so let's get into the price, because y'all know how we was talking about $5 footlong. Yeah, you finna get
pay for your
you gotta pay dang near $15 something just for a sub sandwich these days, and that really just be the sub
sandwich. She stares back at you and then points to the sign above her head. You could have sworn it said $5 footlong, but it says 15? A $15 footlong? When did this happen? In March 2008, Subway ran what was thought to be a temporary promotion, but instead became one of its most famous offers ever, the $5 footlong. It was supposed to run for 4 weeks, but it stayed on in
Marvel Studios Thunderbolts is a game changer.
I remember it was tearing the face up.
It's the best.
indefinitely. It quickly became legendary, with fast food chains copying the model and offering $5 deals on all their products. Jeffrey.
So overall, y'all know how prices tend to go up and all that stuff. They pretty much cannot cover the cost of a lot of the stuff. They still offer a $5 footlong, which I can understand in a sense, because prices have been going up. But if you notice, they ain't the only place that has went up. A lot of places have went up too. Eventually, I guess now they offer a $6.99, sandwich, which is still kind of bad for them because, the prices just went up crazy. And then they got a lot of chains and stuff, but they ain't got no customers like that. The $15 sub, you could probably go to Jimmy John's, get you something tastier. Better. Like these places. Let me
It's being destroyed by its competitors. They said the chain's 3 top competitors, Jersey Mike's, Firehouse Subs, and Jimmy John's, make around $1 million per location, while Subway stores make less than $500,000 per location.
That's
Part of the
terrible.
problem is the aforementioned deals that Subway is now offering, trying to get customers back. Even when they work, it doesn't help the stores or the franchise owners actually make money. One franchisee said Subway is doing crazy coupons. He continued, "Our gross sales are not even at 2012 levels, and profit then was 5 times what it is today." The other problem with the competition goes back to Subway's image as the relatively healthy option. Back when other fast food chains were best known for offering insane artery-clogging options, like KFC's Double Down, a sandwich that used
That's
2 massive
nasty.
pieces
That's
of fried
too
chicken instead of bread, Subway did seem relatively
I don't trust KFC either. If you ain't heard, you ain't seen that little commercial they had. Look like they selling human meat is what they trying to get at.
healthier.
Allegedly, I
But now a
guess.
lot of fast casual restaurant chains have sprung up, like Panera, that serve decent food and have healthier, sometimes tastier options. That puts extra pressure on Subway. You finally exit the Subway store having to throw half of your $15 footlong in the trash because there's no way
No, it's the no food. They tripping. Especially not for $15.
you can eat it all, and you vow to stick to Jimmy John's from here on out. And sadly for Subway, a lot of their customers have made that same decision. However, not all is lost. In the past couple of years, Subway has done the unthinkable for a corporation, listened to its customers' main complaints, and tried to fix some of its major problems.
Yeah, you can't please everybody, so they trying to save the business. But I'm just, at this point, it looks like they just need to let Subway go. Even though the Subway name popping, Subway used to be popping. I want it to be popping, but it's just not. Sorry, the chicken look rubbery. Sometimes stuff just gotta be let go.
So, perhaps better times are ahead. Or maybe not. An over $9 billion sale is impressive, but Subway would
Oh, and they ended up selling the business for over $9 billion to another person, which
was valued at $12 billion just a few years before the sale. And its customer base continues to flee. In 2023, the trade magazine Restaurant Businesses said that Subway no longer held the crown of the sandwich market. It was estimated that in 2024, Subway had 23% of the sandwich and deli market in the U.S. While that still puts it at or near the top, it had 34% of the same market in 2017. An 11% drop in just 7 years is not good news. This summer, Subway experienced another shock when 1,000 East Coast Subways in the U.S. saw same-store sales fall by 8.7% in a month compared to the same time in the
Dang, all
previous
these
year.
stores just
Other
start
numbers
falling.
showed same-store sales drops of up to 10% in other regions. The news was so worrying that in August, executives called a meeting with franchise owners of 19,000 North American Subway shops. According to the New York Post, the invite said, "This conference is essential. Join us. to discuss the state of the industry and an update on our business. Now that sounds like corporate speak for what is happening. Get over here now.
Yeah, they start panicking. But overall, this is why they start pretty much failing. Quality, product, pricing, all this stuff. Jared, oh my gosh, I did not know about Jared. That tripped me out a little bit. But I guess sometimes, I'm not going to say life happens because that's crazy to be a pedo like that. And then you, the face of a whole company, that impacted them so bad, I feel like, because dang. But yeah. I don't know. If you want to continue to support Subway, support Subway. I don't really like the food like that no more. I ain't trying to diss them because I used to love it, but the quality went downhill. Jared ain't helped. A lot of their vegetables not as fresh as they used to be, but overall, yeah, this a lot of these companies just starting to go down. So just I would recommend people starting to eat at home. Like make your own food because you don't know what these people be feeding you because they so busy trying to cut costs as you've seen in this video. And they gonna cut it any way they possibly can. 50% chicken in your chicken is crazy. That's all I got for you. Bye.